From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ease.
Welcome to Viada's Tiny House Village. Here I am in my tiny house village. Woo, these are some exciting times. And so I'm happy if you're joining me this morning to learn a little bit more about the events going on in our world, because they're getting a little hyped up, crazy, And so it's important that I keep you informed and fearless. We don't want to be full of fear, because the only thing to fear is fear itself, because fear lowers your vibration. So welcome. That prayer that you just heard is the prayer of the 7 galactic directions promoted by our ancestor Jose Arguelles, and a prayer that speaks to us of our multi-dimensional selves. We are so multi-dimensional because what is going on in this computer up here in our brain is heavily influenced by our universal connection to the stars and our cosmic energy that we experience every day. Whether you know it or not, the cosmic forces are always activating our memories, our thoughts, and all that. And so it pays, in my opinion, to have a prayer that honors that energy, and especially to end all wars. We are in a war internally for many of us are in war internally. And so coming to this village every Friday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday afternoon, I hope is helping you find peace. So let me welcome the village with my video of my journey thus far in the tiny house.
The cook could put it in high and high. The cook could put انها انها كبوس اني سؤورة كورونا كوكروكوس كورو انها كبورة انها كبوت انها I look deep dress with mad push allow on the bed with mad the cool type of yow.
So grateful to my brother Imak, who has given me permission to play his music, not any other copyrighted music, just his music. Beautiful, beautiful brother. He's on YouTube, so check him out. He's got some other wonderful creations, and I am just grateful beyond measure that I can share his music with you. So today is a new day. This is, let's see, May 15th. So 5, 6, 11, 2. We're rolling on a number 3 today with the calendar, the Gregorian calendar numbers. May 15th is a 7, no, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. May 15th is a 11 or a 2. So if you look at the numbers, it's all algorithms. I was listening to a brother last night. For an hour and 45 minutes. This brother was talking algorithms and Hunter virus and Michael Jackson and all bringing it into numerical evaluation and energy and psyops and all that. I was like, whoa, this brother is so deep. So I got caught up in that till midnight, which I usually do. So I get all this information from all these different sources. And we got to talk about the new attacks on the Michael Jackson estate. These Italian brothers and sisters did a 60-minute interview, which I watched, about all the horrible things Michael Jackson did to them as children. And I really was shocked at what they were trying to reveal about his behavior. And then I was like, is this going to ruin my love of his music? And so right away, the next day, something popped up from a woman who shares her experience watching that same 60-minute. She must have been a Michael Jackson fan. She watched the same 60-minute interview that I did that was recently done in Australia. They had to go all the way to Australia to do this. And so she watched it, and she gives us, and I'm going to have to find that and play that. She gives us her interpretation as a professional reader of auras around people when they're talking. She can tell whether they're telling the truth or not based on her readings of watching people's mannerisms, conversation, and the aura around them, which turns a specific color when they're telling the truth or a lie. I'm going to play that for you today. I got to find it. I don't know what I do with it. But for now, as we do every morning on Friday, let's do some breath work and some movement, because if you've been with me the last 2 shows, Wednesday, we talked about the frequency that Ayanna Van Zant puts out, the frequency activation and all that by her message. And on Sunday, I talked about the importance of frequency in the masters of Christ and Michael Jackson and the Buddhist monk, and how we can embody that energy. And especially now where psyops and all these crazy things are going on, this is the time, brothers and sisters, if never before, you got to raise your frequency. That's how you prevent wearing masks and getting jabs, and because your frequency is so high, everything just bounces off of you. Boop, 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 boop. And that's what happened to Michael Jackson, even I think in the last years of his really challenging life. Stuff was just bouncing off of him, and he was still creating music and all that, but people still, the haters gonna hate, and they came around, and he just went into a den of vipers. And so, but he had such a high frequency, along with the monks who walked thousands of miles, and then Christ demonstrated what was the key element in all 3: movement, movement, movement. Michael Jackson showed us movement we'd never seen before. Christ walked all over the planet, it seems, from when you think about the history of the Messiah, Christ, aka Jesus, that man, when you really dig into the history of his life, he walked from the Middle East to Tibet to Egypt. There was a lot of walking going on back then, and that was part of the reason that man who had an assignment to raise our frequency and raise our consciousness, why he survived a crucifixion, in my opinion, and went on to have a relationship with Mary and all that. The frequency is just so high, well, because he was moving all over the area. The monks demonstrated that perfectly. The Buddhist monks over the last few months demonstrated perfectly how they can walk for 2,000 miles and not fall apart. And then Michael Jackson, of course, the master of musical movement. So today, I always invite you to join me in moving this temple, this sacred temple that our soul lives in. It's important to teach our children, in my opinion, that they are souls living in a sacred temple, a sacred vessel. This vessel of skin and organs and hair and eyes and all this is just the outer layer of the temple, the sacred temple, that has a huge process going on inside, called what I call a biological computer. And in German New Medicine, which I'm a practitioner of, this system that works to develop disease when you have the thoughts and the emotions that don't calm down, you develop a disease. And I've been having a debate on Facebook with a German New Medicine group about whether the Dr. Hammer, the initiator of German New Medicine, whether he was in his emotions when his son was killed, and he later developed testicular cancer, and then went on to test his own patients because of that experience, to find out what happened to their brains and their emotions when they developed their own cancer. So I'm debating with these people. Well, Dr. Hammer wasn't really talking about emotions. It's like, what are you talking about? We're energy in motion. This whole process is energy in motions. We call it emotions. And one of the most important lessons I have learned about emotions is that emotions are on a spectrum of acid and alkaline. Acid and alkaline. If you know anything about pH, potential of hydrogen, acid anything is more destructive, not very building up. And when you're on that scale of the yellow and the orange colors, that's acid, and a 7 pH is neutral. That's where your homeostasis is. Everything is like an orchestra playing in there. 7 pH, no Siri. And then you go into the higher alkaline pH, and that's where you're in enlightenment, you're in joy, you're in forgiveness, you're in peace, you're in happiness, you're in laughter. That's your alkaline pH. So your disease develops in acid. The tumors, your body registers, I feel horrible, I'm nothing, I'm worth nothing, I hate myself, I don't like I'm not enough, blah blah. That's acid, and your body says, "Oh, okay, let me help you with some tumors." That's how it works in German New Medicine. If you follow me, and that's my teaching, you stay in those acid emotions. That's where the ulcers, the tumors, all those wonderful little diseases show up in the doctor. Oh, we got a pill for that. And if you stay in alkaline mode with joy, forgiveness, peace, love, compassion, you cannot develop disease because one scientist by the name of Otto Warburg, look him up, don't take my word, he experimented and found an oxygen-rich environment, which is more alkaline, cannot develop cancer. That's a research that just proves what I'm saying is that oxygen-rich environment, which is taking in the breath of life with joy and peace and happiness, cannot develop disease. So I said all that to say, let's do some joint rolling because this should be your lifestyle if you want to stay away from drugs and doctors and medicine, is have a lifestyle of deep breathing and responding. We're going to talk a little bit about how you respond to narcissists and triggers, because that's the triggers will put you in disease mode if you're not careful. And if you stay in disease mode with triggers, why are you saying that to me? Why'd you do that to me? And you stay in that mode, your body says, okay, acid is being produced. We're going to give you some tumors and ulcers. But if you're breathing in forgiveness, let's do that together. Breathing in through your nose. Hold it for a count of 4. And let's see, I want to do, I'm going to bring in our heart Taurus for you because that's just so beautiful. But keep breathing in through your nose and Taurus, let's see. Breathing in and out through your nose. That's always the beginning of our we gotta find that. I love playing that music for you. Okay, I'm gonna have to go into history. Okay. Keep breathing in and out through your nose, please. And I'm gonna find the piano music, which is so inspiring in my opinion. Okay, where are we? Here it is. Okay. So the reason I want to play this hard Taurus is to give you a visual of the aura. And we're going to talk about that's how this woman discerned that this new charge against the Jackson estate is a lie, because she has practiced and has perfected and professionally looks at the aura around people when they're talking and moving to determine the colors. So this Taurus video that I'm going to play for you gives you a visual of what's going on when you are expressing love, when you're expressing joy, when you're expressing harmony with the other organs and the brain and all that. So as we breathe in and do our joint rolling, you can see from this video how your body is moving in the outer dimension, which you can't even see, which is why we're multidimensional. This is what's going on. And how your body is moving on the inside as well, because the heart is giving out this powerful aura, this powerful frequency, even now while I'm talking. And this woman who we're going to show you can see that aura, which is amazing. And she wants us, I want you to know that when I play this, she wants to teach us how to recognize when people are lying or telling the truth. And that's what this whole virus drama is all about. Are they lying? Are they doing a Psyop? What are they doing? So let's get into our joint rolling and keep the breath going, which is the most important tool of your life. I'm finding at 71, the most important tool for me to manage my health is my breath. And there are so many ways you can do that. If you go on YouTube, people are Soma breath, Wim Hof breath, and just practice. I don't care how you do it, whether you exhale first or inhale first, just do it, because the the body responds to more oxygen to balance dis-ease. So I'm going to start the joint rolling, and I'm going to start this video for you so you can see how you are how your body is moving in and around you right now. Raise up a little as back. Let's turn over. And let's top it off with activating the meridians in your body by rubbing the feet and the hands together, because your map of your body is on your hands and your feet. If you've ever done reflexology, you know that every area of your hand represents an organ in your body. So let's activate that as we prepare to stimulate our vagus nerve. So hug those knees. Tell your body, I love you every day. I love you. I love you. Give your spinal cord a massage. I love you. I love you. I love you. Woo! Flip over and come back up to a seating position. And how are we feeling out there? Hope you enjoyed that. Woo! That sacred geometry in motion, because we are sacred geometry, in case you didn't know it. Just look at your eyes and your fingerprint and all the things that are swirling inside of us. So let's do a little vagus nerve activation, because the vagus nerve is the tree of life inside of you. Do your research. Squeeze that nerve and feel it all the way down to your toes. Inhale. 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 And let's just activate all the cells in our body by clapping, tapping, loving, feeling, touching. I love you. I love you. Right here is where your pain releases on your arms, releases congestion in your body. Tap, tap your thymus gland. Tap, tap. We need this for immune system support. Under the ears, just do a little massage to get the lymphatic system flowing, and then massage around the collarbone to get all that junk flowing out of the body, out going into the colon. And then just tap around your navel, because that's where your microbiome, you have more cells concentrated in your colon area called microbiome than any other part of your trillions of microbiome cells in the colon area, and they're all throughout your body, but especially love on that colon area, the navel. Love you, and keep them in balance with what? Food and emotions. Yes. So how are we feeling? Let's see. We got some comments here, and Rita, let's see. Rita's Worldwide says, awesome. Awesome, V. Thank us, Rita. Thank you for joining me this morning. And she says, love it, love it. Thank you, Rita. And she says, Satnam, Satnam. Beautiful way to start our day. And that Satnam means I honor the creator in you, and you're honoring the creator in me with the Satnam. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank us. Thank us, because we Satnamers are united in spirit. So let us dive into, here we got one more comment here. My sister Zelda, breathing with you, sis. Thank us. Love you. Mwah. Love you, Zelda. And we got to get started, because the haters are busy this season. It's not even summer yet, and we got the haters trying to control our mind, our emotions, big time on the internet. So I'm going to get into my studio. So take a minute to get your tea or your pencil, paper, because you might need pencil and paper. Maybe not. Maybe you can keep all this in your head, but I'm going to be giving you a lot of information to bring you to a level of truth about Michael Jackson, as well as this great virus floating around. And viruses are everywhere. Let's just keep that in mind. In fact, I might even show you a picture of the Hunter virus on the back of a Lysol can. So I'll be right back after I get to my studio.
Light. May wisdom dawn.
Okay.
So we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, May wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the West, House of Transformation.
Okay, so I'm in my studio. That was quick. And I want to start off, first of all, every time I go on TikTok, I have all these friends, and then I have all these non-friends show up with stories about everything going on in the world. So I think it was last week was the first time I got a big media hit about this cruise ship and the rats and the virus and the hunter virus, okay? And so these people are coming on strong, showing up on your platforms that you did not invite them to come on. So that's why we have to ask, is this a psyop? Because I didn't invite these people on my platform to talk about some scary rat virus. Are we serious? So here is a little blurb about psyops, in case you didn't understand. What psyops, where is that coming from? Let me start out, as I always do, with some information about what the hell is a psyop, why you need to know, because this summer isn't even here and we've already been hit with some heat, okay? So the truth about psyops, I found this easily on YouTube, and let me just play that for you so we get an introduction. In fact, I got a couple of them. Here's the first one that this guy is going to explain in his version. What is the truth about psyops?
To control a mammal brain. The mammalian. When it comes to psyops, you want to control a mammal brain. The mammalian brain makes all of your choices, all of your decisions. And it is absolutely in charge. So like if somebody says, well, no, the human brain's bigger, the neocortex is way bigger, well, go ahead and hold your breath until you die. You can't. You can't will your way out of this mammalian part of our brain taking over. And this is our limbic system, the emotional regulatory part of our brain, going back into the brainstem. If you just think of it as, how do I take control of a dog? It's the same thing that take control of the human. There's 4 things that take control of the mammalian part of the human brain. And it spells out the word fate, F-A-T-E. And that's focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. If I use those 4 things, I can control a dog, I can train a dolphin, I could teach a killer whale at SeaWorld to jump through a hoop or whatever, or I can control an entire population of human beings. If I just gain control of focus, trigger their ancestral response to authority, trigger their thinking that the tribe is all doing the same thing that they are, and this is the expected response of a tribe, and then trigger an emotional reaction, and I'm done. You have full control of a human being. When it comes to...
So there you are with an introduction to psyops, which means psychological operations. The military uses this term. We're seeing it more and more lately because people are waking up. We're waking up. We went through COVID Twilight Zone, and we're like, we're not doing that anymore. I'm not playing that game. So people are waking up. I'm just saying. So here's one more. Just keep psychological operations. And as he mentioned, the purpose is to control your brain, your mammalian brain, control your emotions. And what are they using to control the mammals is fear. Fear. You have to be afraid. I mean, the thought of these rats running around with this virus, which is everywhere, and trying to scare us, that's fear. That's just fear. And then they get off the ship. And then, of course, to say people are dying from this is really fearful. And that's where, as he talks about, people get, oh, look what's going on. People are dying. So calm down, take a deep breath. It's a psyop. So let's look at one more, mastering the 5 keys, stages of psyop. We're going to be so educated that we're not falling for this this time around. Let's do it.
Goals and desired outcomes. Identify the target audience, whoever it is, enemy forces, civilians, global opinion. Number 1, planning an objective setting. define the mission, goals, and desired outcomes, identify the target audience, whoever it is, enemy forces, civilians, global opinion, clarify the psychological effect you aim to achieve, align the Psyop with broader strategic and operational goals. Number 2, research and intelligence gathering. Understand the target audience and operational environment, study cultural, social, religious, and psychological traits of the target group, analyze media consumption habits, assess vulnerabilities, fears, and motivations of the targeted audience. Very interesting. Motivations and fears. Number 3, message development. Craft content designed to achieve the intended psychological effect. Use themes and narratives that resonate with the target audience. Ensure the message appears credible, culturally appropriate, and relevant. Decide on the tone. Fear, hope, anger, humor based on the psychological goal. Number 4, medium and method selection. Choose effective delivery channels for the message. Radio broadcasts, leaflets, social media, videos, posters, face-to-face communication, and match the medium to the target audience's habits, technological access. Number 5, execution and dissemination. Deliver the message to the target audience. Time and synchronize delivery with other operations, military movements, or political events. Use repetition and consistency to reinforce the message. Employ covert or overt tactics depending on operational requirement. Number 1, plan.
Okay, he went through that pretty fast. If you didn't catch it, come back and you can to this show and watch it later. So basically what he's saying is there's a system, there's a plan, there's an operation, psychological operation to introduce to you credible sources that will make you believe we have a problem and it could kill you. It could kill you. There's enough information that's going to be put out about how many people are dying, just like COVID. So it's a rerun of the COVID Twilight Zone movie. Here we go. And so they're going to put out credible people to bring these emotional videos. Now, the TikTok video was about some guy coming on or the ship incident and the rats and all that. Then this guy shows up on TikTok, this white guy with a beard, glasses. Of course, you got to have the glasses, the little glasses, and in this white coat. Didn't say he was a doctor, but you get this image that he's credible because he's got a white coat and this claw collar underneath. And he goes into talking about, you don't have to worry about this new corona or hantavirus. And we know that we have this horrible administration like the Trumps and then RFK Jr. Oh my God, we don't want to talk about the people who are going to handle it. And then he calms down and says, but you should know that certain people have died and then blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at him like, is he serious? Really? That was the worst performance yet. They're going to have more coming in, more actors coming in. But his was terrible. It's on TikTok, and they're spreading that around because he looks like he's credible and he has authority, a doctor code. And we're supposed to believe MDs about this whole hantavirus. Let me show you a picture of, I think I have it imaged. Let me see. Of what's on the back of, if you didn't know, what's on the back of a Lysol can. I hope I have it here. Lysol can, but I may have erased it. Okay, I don't have it here. But if you look on the back of a Lysol can, there are like 50 or more different viruses what the Lysol can kill for you, right? And so I looked on it. I took a picture. I don't know where it went. And hantavirus is right there, which tells us what? It's nothing new. It's been around. In fact, there was another outbreak some years ago for this virus. And people may have died because why? In my opinion, they're not doing the frequency elevation work, the breath work, the movement. Remember, there's 3 masters we can look at how they mastered what they did. That was Christ, that was Michael Jackson, and there's the Buddhists who walked and moved. It was all about movement. When you're moving, especially in nature, these 3 individuals were out in nature. They weren't in their homes doing the workout. They weren't in the gym on the treadmill. Nope. They were out. Christ was walking all around Jerusalem and Middle East and Tibet. Michael Jackson was on the stage now, but he was performing outside most of the time on these stages. He wasn't in big arenas inside. And then, of course, the Buddhist Panakara was walking in the cold and the rain and the snow. And he survived 2000. He's on my Facebook picture profile because I admire him so much. So here's one more incident of a someone caught this on Facebook. Someone caught this on TikTok and showed this, that the guy who showed up on this guy showed up on, okay, where did she go? This guy showed up on TikTok and she recognized him, that he was in another video a couple of years ago. The same guy who was giving a video on the ship. Okay, so watch this. These are the little clues we have to pay attention to if we're going to outsmart the Psyop, the psychological operation. So watch this and tell me what you think. Let me get some sound here. Let's see. Hold on. Let's back that up. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. Where did it go? Going back up here.
Lives with people waiting for us.
Looky here. I'm pretty sure everybody saw this video.
Just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us.
Do you know what else the same guy did a few years ago? I didn't find it. I found it for you, but somebody else actually went down the rabbit hole and found this clip.
Just gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again.
Coincidence? And the same guy that was promoting the COVID vaccines and the boosters and everything is the same guy on the cruise ship crying about a hantavirus. Coincidence? What do you think? I think it's well, looky here. I'm pretty sure everybody saw this video.
Just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us.
Do you know what else the same guy did a few years ago? I didn't find it. I found it for you, but somebody else.
Okay, so my friends and family are wising up. They're gonna find all the little lies and tricks going on, because this is a repeat, as I said, of the Twilight Zone we went through from 2020 on. So I was so glad to see that, because that's what's happening a lot with these videos, is they're pushing these actors for the Psyop, psychological operation. If we're going to control your mind, and guess who's working on a new jab? Moderna. They've been working on a hantavirus jab for the last year. Now, tell me what that's all about. It's all about Psyop control, because big pharma is losing money. People are not falling for their method of helping the body die or get well or whatever. So I'll be here every week as long as the creator's protection is here, and my mind is well. I'm going to bring forth the truth. Okay. So just beware. Fear is the worst thing that can happen with this new psychological operation. Is that's what they want to bring to you. Wherever you see a video and you analyze it, is this promoting fear? turn it off, keep moving, go do some running, exercise, go hug a tree. I have this tree I hug every day. It's like, oh, yes, I feel you. So that's what we do at Viata's Tiny House Village and Health and Wellbeing. And then Soul Purpose Healing, we're going to bring you some more higher dimensional messages to protect your frequency. Now, I want to move a little bit into Michael, because when I saw this 60-minute program about the Cascio family that's brought a new lawsuit after the movie came, the Psyop came out, there's a new lawsuit, and it was just horrific, the 60-minute interview. These four siblings claim that Michael Jackson groomed them, molested them, did all these horrible things, even though they were on Oprah Winfrey a few years ago, just totally saying Michael never did anything like that to us. But all of a sudden their memory came back and they, I remember him molesting me. So this woman, Sarah Grace, is a professional aura reader, and she just popped up on YouTube. So the universe is always showing me truth in a subtle way. And I watched her video and I thought, this is a beautiful answer to what many of us might have been saying. Oh no, was Michael really that bad? Let me tell you this. There's a lot of rumors about Joe Jackson actually grooming his sons, introducing Michael to business executives when he was a very young person. What they do in Hollywood, having these weird satanic ceremonies, rumors, allegedly, with the Jackson brothers. And so there was all kind of weird things going on as they became more successful. That's sacrifices, and Joe Jackson was wanting to get out of his poverty mind and poverty environment. So he was giving in to the Hollywood executives. So I thought, maybe it's a possibility that maybe Michael was this weird, but this woman kind of cleared it for me. And she wants she says over and over again, you should be able to discern truth by what I'm sharing with you. So I want to share her analysis for all us Michael Jackson fans, so we can kind of be at ease, because this lawsuit's going to come out, and I don't know if they're going to pay them off or what, because they already gave them a substantial amount of money because they didn't want to have this in the news anymore. And they came back, they signed a non-disclosure agreement. These four siblings of the Cascio family signed a non-disclosure agreement, and they still came back now asking for more money, and they're suing him. And they brought all these horrible pictures of Michael with these children that give us the impression that he was a monster. So leave it up to you. I'm going to play part of her video. Are the Cascios lying? Cascios, I think their name is Cascios. And this was Michael's secret family that he got to know really well in New York, Italians, and he spent a lot of time with their children, and they're saying he groomed them. And one guy did a video and said, I think he did it because I was groomed. And it sounds like, well, yeah, the way they present the Cascio family in the 60-minute, I'm going to let you listen to a professional analyze the whole thing, though, and you come to your own conclusion about this. She says, are they lying? She says, are the Cascios lying about Michael Jackson? Now, look at this face. Doesn't look like she'd have any motive to say anything about this situation other than the truth. So let's listen to her, and I want you to come up with your own conclusion about whether she's saying this is true.
So today we're looking at the new allegations from the Cascio siblings against the Michael Jackson estate. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what I see. Now, when I enter this information through my field, I'm not here to give an opinion. I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm here to give the truth purely from what I see when I read the frequency of the situation. Because if you don't know how to discern truth from lies, if you keep believing the headlines the accusations, every narrative the media feeds you, it diminishes your power.
Now, this is the key to why I'm sharing this with you. If you don't know how to discern the truth from lies, what did she say? It diminishes your power. So if for those of you wondering, well, what does this have to do with health and well-being? It's frequent. It diminishes your frequency, which is what keeps you protected and healthy and strong. If you don't know how to discern the truth from lies, and now that we got this big virus campaign, and then Michael's movie is the most popular movie, they're saying Michael's movie is going to reach 1 billion, which would be unheard of. So let me continue.
This is so much more than Michael Jackson. It's about the people in your life, the systems around you, the world you're living in. Because when you lose your ability to discern truth, you give your power away to whoever is speaking the loudest. All right. Well, if you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a medical intuitive and I read the soul. I work with people all over the world daily, looking at the deeper layers into what people can't see. And the deepest layers of all of us is the soul. I see where energy is blocked, where it is flowing, and where it is being distorted. Now, I've spent years helping people identify the root causes of their illnesses, of their patterns, all the places that they get stuck. Now, side note, I had a completely different topic planned for this week, but because so many people have been reaching out concerned about this, asking me to read into the situation, mainly because of my last video, I read Michael Jackson's soul. And so I have a lot of people saying, Sarah, what do you see about this? Is this real? I don't even know what to believe. And so I thought immediately, well, this is what I have to do. And I think it's the perfect opportunity to show you how I read a situation like this, not just to tell you what I see, because I can do that, but I want to teach you how to see it yourself. And seriously, my body has become a literal lie detector. I mean, I've always had it since I was young, but doing this work daily, reading thousands of people, it has sharpened so much that I have yet to see it fail. And honestly, I should probably work for the FBI. But when someone is deceptive, I don't just hear it as most people would. I feel it in my body. And I also see the colors in their etheric field change instantly. So the etheric field is a component in your auric field. Now, a lie has a specific density, it has a specific frequency, and a specific color. So I'm using the lens that shows you what's really happening behind these headlines. Now, to understand the energy, first we have to look into the physical structure. And there is a structural flaw in the narrative, I believe. Now, if we look at the timeline, because the math of the timeline is very specific. All right, so 2010, that's where we're going to start. Michael has been gone for 1 year. The entire Casio family goes on Oprah, and they are Michael's fiercest defenders. Now, they straight up call him a target for predators, not a predator himself. They said he was only light. Now, they were all very close, like for decades, when they were kids and also growing up as adults. Michael would stay at their home and bring his children. They spent holidays together. It was literally his second family. So let's jump into 2019. The documentary of Leaving Neverland drops. Now, it became a global sensation, and suddenly the Casios started remembering. It's interesting how a documentary about somebody else's story can suddenly rewrite your own 30 years of history. Now, when abuse is real, the memories don't show up conveniently after a media event. Trauma doesn't wait for a documentary to validate it, but that's exactly what happened here, or that's what the timeline is showing. Now, this is not just one sibling bringing this up. This was 4 siblings deciding that now is the time to speak about the alleged abuse. Now, 2020 to 2025, we're going to go through this timeline. This is where it gets heavy. Now, the Cascio family filed private claims against the Michael Jackson estate. They quietly received $16 million from the estate, paid out over 5 years. $16 million. $16 million to keep the allegations out of the public eye. Now, for some people, you may ask, why did the estate pay if Michael was innocent? And the answer is quite simple. To avoid years of agony in court, to protect Michael's children from watching their father's name get dragged through another public trial, and really to stop the media circus before it started. So the estate paid out. The Cascios took the money, and for 5 years, silence. But 2025 came around. The money stopped. The 5-year schedule ended. The Cascios have received their $16 million. And guess what happened? The memories started getting louder. So March 2026, they filed a new lawsuit for over $200 million. This is another lawsuit. And it just so happens that they timed it right at the time of the filming for the exact moment of when the biopic was announced. Now, they went straight to the New York Times, literally the biggest media platform for maximum exposure. And they released their story the second the film premiered. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it really doesn't take a professional intuitive to read through this. This isn't a timeline of a soul-seeking piece. This looks a lot like a timeline of a transaction, seeking a much bigger payout. Now, I know what healing looks like. I work with it every day. In my practice, I work with people going through extreme levels of trauma. So I understand it deeply. But clue number one that stands out very much is this is not a healing strategy. This looks like a marketing strategy. All right, so now I want to go deeper and to truly show you how I see it. Because yeah, the timeline can show clues along the way. Again, that is speculation. Let's go deeper than that. So earlier I touched something that they know is not truth. Yes, I feel it. I feel it in my body. Now, a lot of people do. But I also see a person's etheric field around their body, the color and the coherence changes. Now, the etheric field is the closest layer around the physical body that can actually reflect a lot of your overall health issues. So this is important to know because when somebody is deceptive, it will, and I'm not talking about like one lie, I'm talking about somebody who is chronically deceptive, it actually affects their physical health. And I see that. I see it affect them directly. And deception changes their field instantly. So the moment you tell a lie, it actually affects you instantly. Now, that part cannot lie. The words may sound very convincing. The performance may look very believable, but the field itself never lies. And that's something that people cannot manipulate. Now, what somebody...
And I want to say, as I watched the 60-minute interview, I was really convinced because their performance was really convincing that they were harmed. But when this woman shows up in my YouTube feed, I'm like, oh, maybe I should watch this. I'm so glad I did.
Says and what their soul is transmitting are often two very different things. Now, when a soul is seeking truth, even a very painful truth, the field just expands. It vibrates with colors such as teal or deep blues or greens or reds. It shows honesty and integrity. The energy is coherent. It is aligned. It is whole. Even if the words are hard to say, the field is clear. Now, when I saw these 4 siblings on a recent interview, I saw dark gray, even heavy, dense black around them. Now, when I see this is the energy of a motive that is being hidden and manipulated. Their thoughts and motives directly changed their color around their etheric field in real time. And this isn't the frequency of this happened to me. It's the frequency of This is what I'm supposed to say.
So I'm going to end it there. If you're interested in hearing her whole presentation, her name is Sarah Grace. Let me put that in. Very, very interesting presentation by her. I'm totally convinced that she's right. Let's see. YouTube video of Sarah Grace on Michael Jack. You can I don't want to play the whole thing. I don't want to be getting any copyright. I don't think she would send that out on Michael Jack. Okay, so here's the information. Let's see. Oh wait, I wanted to put that. Here it is here, but let me put that in the comments as well. Sarah Grace on Michael Jackson. So we're becoming experts here on discerning bullshit, basically. And going forward, this is what May. We got the year's not over, and we got plenty of BS floating in the media, on social media, all that. So I think it's important for your health, especially, not to get into fear, worry, or doubt about your frequency that you're broadcasting, which is all truth. If you're living in this temple body and you are really in tune with how your body speaks to you and responding with love and giving it the most nutritious food and spending time breathing, then you are vibrating, broadcasting a truth energy that will heal this world. And that's why I follow the teachings of the Buddhist monk Panakara, that waking up every morning, starting with today is going to be my peaceful day. I have a pad, I write it down. When my grandchildren here, I take that pad over to the breakfast table and say, are you participating? And they do. They pick up, and I'm talking about 2 kids who are resisting most of what grandma tells them. But they pick up that pen and they write also in their own handwriting. It's interesting to compare my grandchildren and my son's handwriting to mine, and we all are cooperating and saying, today is going to be my peaceful day. Why we do that? Because as it was taught, the universe recognizes the effort to bring peace, not only to yourself, but to the world. And so when we do that, we're going to create a broadcast of pure peace, energy, and vibrations of truth. So I hope this has been helpful to you to go out and be the most high vibrating, energetic frequency you can be today, because that's what it's going to take to get rid of the damaging energy that keeps coming out from our government and from people, our people who are sick and mentally out of balance. Every day, I went to a park the other day. I shared it on Wednesday and gave out fresh watermelon because my grandchildren left and didn't want to eat the watermelon. I had this huge watermelon. So I went out to a park and gave out 7 or 8 bags of fresh watermelon I had bagged up and left it in the cooler to people on the homeless park area. Gave me such satisfaction, joy. Just a random act of kindness can do wonders for your health, for your energy, and for your mental state. Just do random acts of kindness. My sister Zelda does that every day. So blessings and the gratitude to Zelda. She goes out and she must be feeling on a high every day, because she goes out every day and brings food to people who are camping out in the streets and under bridges and all that. So send her donations to Higher Learning Network if you want to help her out. But I think every time we have food left over or some type of money, extra money comes in, that we should share it with the less fortunate. And then don't complain. Stop complaining about whatever you're going through and just make a plan to improve your life and get better. So if this has been helpful to you, this is let me bring my cash up, Cash Vieta Robinson. If you've gotten benefit from this video, I welcome donations. I am not monetized on YouTube. I don't really want to be, because once you say something that offends them or breaks the rules, and you're demonetized and you can't do this, and there's so much control on YouTube when you don't speak your full truth, or when you're afraid to speak your full truth to change this world. They will shut you down. No more money. I'm not monetized. So I appreciate any gifts from you who are watching that help me do what I'm doing, which I'm not charging anyone right now. And so I'm grateful to be able to share what I'm learning at this stage of my life. I'm excited every day to just get up and learn something new. You can learn something new and go on YouTube at night and just search, put in the search bar. What do you want to learn today that you haven't learned? Anything, put it in the search bar, guaranteed to get 100 videos on the subject. And I'm up sometimes till 1 o'clock in the morning too, even if it's really interesting. I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. And I'm not watching movies most of the time. I'm just getting information about what's going on in our multi-dimensional world. Just a little side note on this Iran and the war situation. This is such a deep level of galactic activity going on with this Iran and all these wars going on. There's so much information out there about why we are still having these conflicts in the Middle East, Iran, Israel. There's a purpose behind it, though, because we have moved into a very high vibration on the earth, and many people are waking up and becoming more conscious and taking better care of themselves and seeing the truth from all the media psychological operations. That's what it's all about. And maintaining your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health, which basically says, your spiritual health says, I'm a soul. I am an eternal being. If this body fails, stops breathing, I'm out of here, on to another adventure in my soul journey, my spirit journey. So no problemo. Don't be afraid. Just do our best. Do our best to maintain this sacred temple so that we can complete our assignment, our soul assignment. And most of all, it's about love. Share your love. So I share my love with all of you. Sat Nam, namaste, aho, and ashe, and shalom. Love you. Go out, get some sun, and have a beautiful day. Thank us.
Benenza put the cooker on the order. Who's to get a limit to order? As em Bahaka kept a cataract, a theater can. Tashia, wish you up with South Kawoon. The fear who the Kabali, a Kalat Noon. I kick the Kaboon to a part to sad. I knew get a horse, look at Papa Garage. I knew I would for Papa Lag. I knew I got you a Akakadad. I knew could do a constitution yet. I knew could do a mother was part of that. I do be Papa that, the Gahamos, and knew for Nas, the super do I got no horse. The cook could put it in her. Yeah, the cook